Hello gamers, and welcome back to some more WARNO content on my channel. I'm still behind with covering all the divisions and stuff, and I'm not up to 100% up to speed with all the patches, unfortunately. I did start casting games in German though, so you can check them out to, promote WARNO to German-speaking players as well, and there's lots of good English coverage already. But obviously I also want to keep my main English stuff going. So here we're going back to the 5e Division Blindee. And this is a build I actually did in October. And since then obviously things have changed a little bit. Buffs, nerfs, availability and so on. But I think this is still quite the viable setup. I've checked it. It's battle hardened, even though the division requires a lot of mobility, and so you need a good APM. So it's not my strong suit. Yeah, I've got the trucks here with 500 supply. I didn't go for the helicopter. In particular with the auto ammunition, I think this is quite cool. Then 2 command vehicles. In the future, maybe only 1 with the new patch that will be coming. In the infantry tab, there's something new here. It designated heavy machine gun squads. Strength is 4, and you can bring them in a variety of vehicles as well. But to be honest, I'm not sure if you have a rather empty, or if you don't have lots of activation slots. I don't think it's necessarily the best course of action to call them in. So what I do have here is I've got the Sapeur Flamme. As a CQC unit, you could bring the satchel charges. I've seen Protoss bring the satchel charges, and they also have better availability. So I'm not 100% sure which one is better. Here you've got the advantage of the 500 meter range. That's why I went for them, and here you've got 150 meter range. And I think that's the availability went up though from 6 to 9, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be a viable option. Other than that, the main line infantry is the Grenadier Voltigeur, and I've got 3 cards of them. I would very much like to sort them better. Or automatically sort them the same way all the time, like in Steel Division 2. And the Grenadier, they come in this with autocannon vehicles, all of them. So I think this is pretty cool, and you get a lot. Then I went for the Milan, which is important. So you get the ground missile, but also the vehicle has a Milan, and 24 penetration is what you need. It's the best card for penetrating enemy vehicles. Yeah, I actually got 4 cards of Voltigeur. I might change that for some CQC. I'm not 100% sure. Then I've got the commandos. They currently come in the truck, but I think I should send them in the Puma, in the Super Puma. This would allow me some shenanigans behind the line. Yeah, I think I'll send them in the Puma. It's a shame that the Puma, Super Puma, does not have fighting capabilities. Yeah, but I think it's worthwhile taking them like this. Artillery. I've got 2 cards of the AMX. It's a very good artillery piece, and unvetted, or well, rather trained only. But I think it can do the trick. It might be worth swapping one out and bring a mortar for smoke pushes. That is something worth considering, I think. And I think I should actually do that. Without smoke, things can get really rough, and they just need to stay alive. And they are super expensive anyway. The tank tab, I do have a command vehicle here as well to capture some ground, but as you can see, all the tanks don't have great armor. 18 penetration. Here is another 24 penetration, the Mephisto. And yeah, it might be an idea to take less tanks, to be fair, and maybe more artillery. But you need to be mobile, you need to encircle your enemies with this division, I think. Get side shots in and spam a little bit. In the Recon tab, I've got the Éclaireur, and they are supposed to get into position rather quickly and hold the position, and that's why I bring them in the P4 and not in the VLRA truck, because they shall just quickly get into position. I do have the AMX-10s. They are like the strong suit. They've been nerfed a little bit, but they are still very good. Super fast, and you can get into position very quickly, and you should. It's a shame that I don't have the Rashid, but there's currently just no space for it. Maybe when they introduce ground radar, I think that the Rashid is one of the units that should have it. So then it might become an option. And it's important to have some helicopter reconnaissance. A8 tab, Mistral, AMX-13, Roland 3, you need to micro them, and the Roland 2 with better availability, and Protoss made me aware of it. They've been, well, I'd say buffed, or made more beginner friendly again, because the radar has been removed, like it was in the beginning. But as you can see, the range is worse, partly significantly worse against helicopters and so on. Also accuracy is not as good, but it's a nice option. Helicopter tab, a Gazelle and a Gazelle Hot 2. And in the air tab, a Ziad plane, always important. And in particular, if you don't know the division you're playing against, if you play against someone and you know he doesn't have radar AA, then you obviously need to change it. Then air defense is the Mirage. I think the Mirage is quite a decent fighter. And yeah, super fast. And then AT plane. And the reason for taking the AT plane is the lack of very good tanks. So this can maybe help. And then an HE plane to drop some bombs. This is kind of like the setup now. Yeah, this is my division as it stands now, slightly changed during the video. Let me know what you think. What would you change? Maybe throw out some Voltigeur in favor of maybe the M2HB, or maybe the Sapeur. I'm not sure, but the Sapeur with the autocannon AMX-13 might be an option. Let me know what you think, and until then, bye for now.